All right, let's get to our first hot topic.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Gotta talk about Johnny's girl, Lizzo. The buzz this week in the entertainment world is Lizzo. You all know her. She's we'll call her plus sized powerhouse singer who's been a huge champion of body positivity. Well, she's facing a lawsuit from some of her former dancers. They're claiming they were turned down and released because of their weight, and supposedly were encouraged by Lizzo to do some weird things at some strip club somewhere. Now, Lizzo's been all about self love, acceptance, embracing every body type, and of course, she is denying these allegations. But with her dancers alleging that they were treated unfairly because of their weight, here's the first question for you. Do you think these allegations are true? And if they are, isn't this just normal in the industry? Or is it different because it's Lizzo who's built her brand on body positivity? This one's got me kind of, I don't know, I'm on the
That's
fence, but I want to hear you guys'
Mhm.
thoughts. Let's start with Robbie.
All right. So, do I think it's true? It's not outside of the realm of possibilities. I'm not going to say that it's. I'm not going to. I can't really double down on anything because there's not enough information that's been shared yet. There are allegations from half a dozen people. Initially, it was three. Then more people came out. So, is it a cash grab or is it people coming out and saying no? Like this is truly a toxic environment. And like you
right.
alluded, my problem with this particular story is that it is not on brand for Lizzo
Mm.
because she preaches body positivity. And you can't do this while privately weight shaming your dancers, demeaning them in ways that are illegal and demoralizing. And there are
If
other
she was doing those
implications
things.
to this. But there are other allegations. I mean, a non-payment, sexual harassment, telling dancers that it's normal to get fired if they get fat. Do I think it's normal in the industry, Neo?
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
for
Yeah, it
sure. I
is.
think that it's normal in the industry. But given who this is, then no, this doesn't trend. It does not check out.
all right, so
And
you,
some of the sexual nature stuff that you also referred to, you know, just attending a performance with nude dancers in Amsterdam and to eat a banana placed in a nude dancer's genitals, pressuring one of your dancers to touch someone's breast. No,
She's
but
sick.
Johnny, if you're in a position of
come
power and you
on.
say, you know what, I want you to eat this banana that's just tucked down here, it's like, well, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. I
Like
pay
that's
your
so
check, and who
inappropriate.
knows, and right, if it's a party atmosphere and people are just having a good time, and then it's like, okay, so you're impaired and you're maybe saying something stupid in this atmosphere, but not recognizing the position of power that you're in.
But come on, Rob. I mean, if you're out of the strip club with sure, yeah, she's in a position of power, but she's having fun, and they came out to join her, and they're just all having fun, and she just
Go to the
happens to
strip
say,
club with your friends,
she
not
just
your
ha-
employees.
she just happens to say something like, "Hey, why don't you go eat that banana?" And she's just joking around, and then they're
He
putting
did
this
not
into a
say it like that.
lawsuit. Okay, but I'm just saying, maybe she was encouraging them to
It
go have fun, go do this, and go
That's
ahead.
interesting because it reminds me of Wendy Williams. There was allegations that she had that she had coworkers like see her breasts, like she was like flashing them or some inappropriate behavior. You guys can look it up.
yeah.
But it reminds me of just the fact that this probably is a normal occurrence between artists and their dancers or their close, personnel. Not saying the sexual part is just like a normal, everybody does the sexual thing. But I think that the reason these allegations that are coming out, I think they're true, one. But I
Hmm,
think they're coming out because something happened. So now they want to like come out with all this stuff.
yeah.
Like, I'm not
Hmm.
saying that they're not lying, that they're not telling the truth. I just think there's a reason why they're doing this now. That's
I,
my
I, I think, I mean, I agree. I think it may be just exaggerated. Like these things might have happened, right? But these people were fired, and so they're disgruntled. And so they're coming up with random stuff. Like all of the things may have happened, but as with any
it was
story, you can
fabricated.
exaggerate the story a bit, make it seem much worse than it is. Maybe she did make a comment, oh, girl, you're a little fat today. Maybe
Okay,
she made
so
that comment.
I don't know
Neo,
about that.
are you saying? So I
He's
just need
he's
to
softening
frame
it
this
up.
context. I need to understand this. So is Lizzo getting a pass for asking someone to go ask a banana in a nude performer's genitals? Are you giving that a pass because Lizzo was asking? Let's say it was Jamie Foxx asking one of his entourage to go eat that banana between someone's like a female
Ew.
member. Oh, why is that a different
Or
reaction?
Trump. Or
Why
Trump.
is that a different reaction?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, that's my challenge.
That's fair. Let me get this
Okay.
comment from Jacqueline Robinson. Is it possible she considers the dancers underweight and not overweight? And she also says, would we accept this behavior in an office setting? Why would the entertainment industry be different? I mean, the entertainment just is different. I'm just going to say that. I mean, it is different.
Lizzo's been getting a lot of heat, so nobody's on her side. I feel
Now
like
she's
most
lost
people, for
half
the
a
most
million
part.
followers on her platforms.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
can
like
you can
there's-
fire people for the way they look. I mean, like, especially if you're trying to look for an actor that's in a certain, fits a certain profile or things like that.
Right.
I know there's this artist that was working at our studio, Mel's studio, and they're picking the dancers, but the dancers, some of them couldn't keep up with the moves, or they were out of shape in terms of they couldn't keep up with the dancing, and so you have to make decisions based upon who's going to fit ability, but also who's going to fit what you're trying to sell. So if you're trying to sell, some, I don't know, I don't want to say skinny, or you're trying to sell like really strong dancers, or you're really, I don't know, she has a brand. Her brand is women that might be overweight, and so she might be looking for a particular brand of people to sell her brand. She's not looking for the skinny girls. She's not looking for necessarily the skinny.
She's promoting.
Yeah, she's looking
plus
for
size. That's the brand,
and that's the entertainment industry, because you want to fit whatever you're trying to sell.
Right.
But she's selling body positivity. That's what she's selling.
Fair. I mean, I can't.
That's been a cornerstone of her brand.
See, that's where I was saying I was on the fence, because I'm a bit on the fence on that. Because that is true. That is her brand, and she is selling body positivity. So even if it's a skinny girl, you can't be downplaying a skinny girl because she's skinny.
Right. To me, it's that cognitive dissonance fans that are going to be faced with. To me, this is very akin to Ellen DeGeneres, the really nice girl on TV, being outed as being a really toxic and mean girl.
Bitch.
And then people have to go, okay, her public persona is this. And a lot of people dropped Ellen. And I think that we're seeing the same thing here with Lizzo, but I think there's going to be a greater fallout from this.
You think a greater fallout for Lizzo? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're going to find that these are just...
If the allegations prove to be true.
I really think it's going to be that these people are just disgruntled, and sure that there may be some truth to what the allegations are, but I believe they're exaggerated. I don't know that they're not true or they are true. I think they're exaggerated.
The truth is usually somewhere in the gray.
Usually.
Just a former guest.
Yeah.
I think that if this was to do damage, it would make people probably not stick with her, like her core fan group, because they'll feel like there's a bit of self-hate there. Like if you're like for me, if I'm, right? Like betrayal, self-hate. So it's nothing to really hold on to if it's a gimmick. So, but I do want to, is it cool to segue into Neo?
What?
The other Neo?
The other Neo. Okay. Yeah, what did you want to say? What?
Would Rob?
Or what did you want to say, John?
Oh, no, yeah. I want to segue. So recently, celebrities have been receiving bad feedback for their actions, which makes me think if cancel culture is coming back. Even recently, with the singer, Neo, he interviewed with Vlad TV, and apparently there's this clip that's going around of, it's getting shared where Neo tells us what his thoughts on children deciding ultimately their gender. He says, I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is. Okay, if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that. So my question kind of, it's different than this, but it just...
I feel you. I mean, so go ahead. What was your question? Go ahead. I'll let you finish your question.
Sure. Does cancel culture still exist? And should he have apologized for saying what he said?
Without a doubt, cancel culture exists. Should he apologize? This goes back to the Jamie Foxx thing. I mean,
Right.
he has an opinion. And whether or not his opinion is valid, who cares? I don't know that he was being mean spirited. I don't know that he was being, uh, you know, we've canceled people in the past who were trying to, attack
Like homophobic,
racist,
transphobic.
right? And those people needed to be canceled. When they're trying to attack, there's hate. There's hate behind it. I don't think there was hate behind it. He just has an opinion on it. And the opinion is not a popular opinion.
Right.
I think that there's some ignorance, and every now and then, Neil,
I don't know that it was ignorant.
Things. As people, we say things. Yeah, I do, and I'll tell you what. We say things, and quite often we need to learn from what we say, because we say things that don't fit well with the social paradigm, and we may have an opinion, but we need more information. So while I appreciate his opinion on this, you have to understand that it's coming from the vantage point of a cisgendered male. It's a place of privilege. He's normalized.
But that's an opinion. That's his perspective.
And he got called out hard, and then people explained things to him. So, whether or not his apology is sincere, I'll go back to Aaron on this. The apology is great if it is sincere. And does cancel culture still exist? Absolutely. It will always exist.
Let me tell you a secret. When I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a girl. Now, my parents could have chosen to run with that and been like, "Oh, you want to be a girl? Let me get you dolls. Let me do your hair a certain way. Let me do all these other things."
Right.
They could have run with that. But I am very much male and very happy to be male. And, that it could have led to, if I had a parent that was very focused on, whatever the kid wants, and, the kid is, all I'm saying is he has an opinion that sometimes maybe we shouldn't just run with it and just go crazy and be like, hey, you want to be a girl? Let's make you a girl.
Right.
Had your parents run with it, there would have been real world consequences to the choice.
At the time, sure.
Exactly. And you would have corrected or changed. So it could have just been a statement, a whim, because kids say all kinds of stuff.
Right. Random.
They're curious. They explore. So
that's
if
my
you
point.
would have said that and your parents would have ran with it, and then you go out playing with your sister Olivia, and you've got your hair done and you're wearing a dress, the kids in your neighborhood would have also had an opinion about this and would have shared it openly. That's the natural consequence.
Sure.
And you would have figured out whether or not you truly identified as a girl, or if this was just something in passing. Because if you really felt it, you would stick with it. Or you get chastised. Not
necessarily. If you have a parent that makes it seem like a fun thing to do, and then you start saying, "Oh, let me buy you a dress, let me do this," and it just becomes a natural thing, and the parent gets really excited about it and says, "Hey, we're gonna turn you into," because I've seen some very aggressive parents with this, taking their children and dressing them up and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna," and just from a simple conversation, and then they become what they've turned into. So they basically turn into a whatever.
Love and support, but don't press an agenda as a parent.
And that's what
support the child.
That's what I think, and that's the perspective that I think Neo was coming from, because I just feel like there's a reasonable perspective, and to put it out there and have the conversation like we're having now, I think is reasonable to discuss, because there are some aggressive parents out there. So I don't know.
And it's also good to have some time to reflect and revisit your statements, especially if people start calling you out and saying, this isn't right. If you have time for reflection, if you're any type of normal human being, you recognize that we screw up all the time, and it's up to us to learn from that and to become better people.
All right. Great stuff. Let me get to this comment online. Jacqueline Robinson's online. Just looking on TikTok real quick. All right. I think it should be on a case-by-case basis. Does it ever occur to people that parents agonize for some time about this? not a matter of having a kid-centric household.